Well, hello, and Happy New Year. This is Tarot to a T, and today we're going to do a January 2023 reading. That would be 2023. Can you believe that? Wow. Anyway, this reading will be for the sign of Scorpio, and if this is the first time to my channel, welcome, Scorpio. Glad you could make it, and if you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate your support and glad to see you again. So let's go ahead and open up the inquiry. This is a general inquiry. What message does Scorpio need to hear at the beginning of this hopefully wonderful new year for 2023? Early January 2023, please. Too many cards. Can't get too excited now. Too many cards. Okay, here we go. That's better. More manageable. Manageable is good. It's kind of a mess of a shuffle, but it's working. Okay, cards of advice. Oh, that flipped right out. You probably saw that too. That's okay. A lot of people have gotten that card in their card of advice. Something about travel. Travel's good. After the last couple of years, right? Travel's been kind of sketchy. Okay, let's jump into it, Scorpio. To your hearts. You got something tugging at your heart. Trying to make a decision. Sometimes this can involve two people. Not necessarily. I see it as just something, like I said, kind of tugging in your emotional sphere of things. It could be two people, it could be two influences, outside elements. Nonetheless, you're kind of in the state of indecision about something. Next card. Queen of Clubs. If you did join me for the December readings, she came out in every freaking reading. I mean, so I do 24 minimum a month, separate readings, okay? She came out pretty much in all of them except maybe a couple. And I know one off the top of my head, she didn't appear, but I think she was in your readings. She's a fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. She's also very generous and supportive. You could have a fire sign in your vicinity, or this could be you if you have fire in your chart. Nonetheless, I see it as very positive. It's an authority and a power figure of some sort, or presence that's there to support you. Let's keep going and see what else we can pull out. Wow, and you also got the Jack of Clubs. It's kind of the same with the Jack, only Jack is obviously not a power or an authority figure. It's a younger person, if it represents a person. And I'm starting to think these don't represent people because there's too many of them. I mean, it's always possible. Take it how it fits your situation. But it's also very supportive. This is like having a good friend. It could also be somebody, I did mention younger, but also somebody inexperienced. So the age difference doesn't have to be there. It's just like somebody who's a little bit not, naive, especially in a work situation. Six of Diamonds. We may be looking at a work situation. This talks about opportunities and options opening up for you in finances. And in particular, enabling you to take better financial responsibility. So if you had difficulties in the past, I'm not saying you didn't pay your bills, but perhaps you've always desired, more resources so that you don't have to be in debt. In other words, you could pay off like that credit card, for example. Even though you can make the payment, it's better to pay it off, right, and just be done with it. Let's see what else can come out in this reading, because this does not tell me a whole lot. I'll be honest with you. I don't see a lot of connections between these at the moment. What else can you tell me about Scorpio's early January message? Ace of Diamonds, you may be on some kind of new financial pursuit. So, it's like a new way of making money, perhaps. The Ace of Diamonds talks about your desire to increase your income or your resources or your net worth. I was trying to combine resources and net worth, and it came out really screwed up. So that's what that word was. But you're just embarking on this. And I think it's a clue here with the Six of Diamonds that this is going to lead to, new opportunities. But I was almost going to say wish fulfillment. In other words, you're going to achieve your goal. You're going to achieve your goal. Whatever direction you're going with that. Whoa. That definitely wants our attention here. Wow. King of Spades. Huh. This could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. The thing about the king, though, is I'm starting to get this as more about career or just you wanting to go in a different direction in career. Not necessarily think that anything's wrong, although there could be with this King of Spades. This is somebody who you're not on the same page with. So in your eyes, they cause problems. It's not that they're a person who intentionally causes trouble. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you're not agreeing with something at the moment. They also have some authority over you. I do think this is an outside person. Because I think you're kind of fed up with the work situation to the point of you want to start something new. I'm not seeing any stress other than the King of Spades so far, but that's a pretty solid indication to me. Now, going back to the Three of Hearts, I think this is what you're trying to decide, which way to go. There's some emotion mixed up with this, and I do think when we're in a work situation that's not good for us, that we're not enjoying, it does affect us emotionally. I think, I don't care who you are, I don't think you can help it. It could just take the form of not wanting to come into work every day, or like every day gets harder. Not like you may not be losing sleep over it. It may not be that bad. You may have some support in your work. That's what this Queen of Clubs and this Jack of Clubs could be supportive co-workers, for example. The Queen of Clubs probably has a little bit more authority. Maybe a supervisor, although I kind of see this King of Spades as being the supervisor, but that could be like the manager of the company. Whereas this could be your direct supervisor who's being supportive, and you might have a co-worker. This would be a very good fit for a co-worker, that Jack of Clubs energy. Let's keep going. What else can you tell me about Scorpio's situation, early January? Early January 2023. It feels bizarre even to say that. The Three of Clubs. You definitely got something here that's causing a little bit of struggle. Again, with the three, there's an element or a pair of elements that are pulling at you, causing this fight or struggle. Well, we kind of saw that. I think it's with that King of Spades. Definitely. If you don't know the birthdays of these people that you're involved with in business, you might want to seek that out. It would be might be curious to find out. It might not be hard to find out, because if you're in the kind of place where I am, they kind of announce birthdays. They may not announce the age, but we kind of do something for people's birthdays. At least acknowledge them in some way. Ten of Diamonds. Very nice. I think you've reached the end of your success wherever you are. That's what this Ten of Diamonds is telling me. This is the end of a chapter. You're wrapping something up. Success, prosperity is wrapped up with the Ten of Diamonds. In some cases, this is like the ultimate. I just think it means that you've kind of reached I'm hearing glass ceiling. It's like you can't go any further. Doesn't mean that you have moved up in positions. It just means that's as far as you're going to go. You know what I mean by that? Yeah, you know what I mean by that. You know, the people around you that get promoted and you don't. Or there's just no more room for promotion. It's like everybody around you holds those positions and you came in later and you're never going to be in their shoes. So that in itself is a glass ceiling, eh? Six of clubs. Yes, these opportunities and options you have in front of you are going to lead to personal growth. Six talks about personal growth in pretty much any area of your life, financially, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, spiritually, you name it. But it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to grow, Scorpio. So you've reached your max here, and it's time for you to grow. Pretty clear message, and you're in the midst of this struggle. Those are, I think, our internal signs when we're starting to struggle with something, and something is not in harmony with us anymore, that something needs to change. Usually in a work situation, you can't change the position or the people, you know, the position the task that you're performing, for example, or the people around you are not going to move and you can't move away from them. You know, something's got to give. There's only so much control we have in those situations. It's usually how it goes. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. King of Hearts. Now this very well could be you. This is a water sign energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. I think you're mastering, let's say mastering your emotions, not in the sense that you're a drama queen or that your emotions have been out of control, but just like you're taking control of this discontent with this struggle that you're going through. I think that's what the king is about. You're definitely being advised to feel like you're in control and that you have power in this situation. That's a very good point. That you have power in the situation. Do not feel powerless. If you do, you need to shape that mindset. You need to turn your attitude towards the positivity that is in front of you, especially with the Six of Diamonds. And the Ten of Clubs, this is what flipped over while we were shuffling. And I said, I've had this come out in a lot of people's readings so far for January. I don't know if it's like the month for travel. It seems like it wouldn't be because the holidays are over, but sometimes that's the time to travel. You know, because it's not as crowded, not as crazy, and the weather isn't as crappy. Well, this depends on the part of the country you're in, honestly. Ten of Clubs also talks about another chapter closing in your life. And the traveling. Oh, get this. The traveling could be you traveling from one job situation to another. It could be invited to travel for pleasure. It could be metaphorical in that your mindset is traveling. You're no longer committed to the cause that you have been involved in, for example. You're not a loyal employee anymore. Take it how it fits. But that's a very good sign that the traveling is always for good reasons. It's not, you know, obligation, for example. Queen of Hearts, Seven of Hearts, yeah. I think this situation really brought you down. You didn't reveal it here, but the advice is showing quite the opposite. The Queen of Hearts is this nurturing energy. It's also, it's very motherly. The King, by the way, is more fatherly. It's just a way to compare it. I'm not saying your father and your mother are involved in this. It's just a way to compare the energy and how it focuses. But the Queen energy is more about nurturing, again, gentle guidance. And the Seven of Hearts is, ouch, broken heart, let down, loss. Somebody didn't come through for you. People not, for example, living up to their word, their promises, that kind of thing. I think you're being advised to nurture these wounds if you're not already in that mode, or feeling that it's time to do that. I mean, I do think that it's time for you to do that, Scorpio. You're definitely in this king energy, and you're being advised to take control of the situation. And with the queen, it's about feeding the inside, soothing your soul. I didn't see that it was this impactful down here, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of water out here. I think once you make this decision, perhaps it's going to launch you into this really realizing how this has affected you on a deep level. I'm kind of getting that. Six of Hearts. Very interesting, because this talks about being open to relationships. Now, since we weren't reading anything down here romantic or relationship oriented, honestly, I'm not getting an inkling of that. This probably has more to do with relationships with potential employers, places that you would be a better fit for and would be mentally better for you, a healthier environment. It's saying the road is clear. There's nothing holding you back. It's also saying that you're going to have these options and opportunities present themselves to you. I guess it's just a matter of traveling and getting out of the situation that you're in. I'm kind of getting the sense you probably are still in the situation, and you're just on the verge of throwing in the towel. Your vice, I think, is pushing you in the direction of, let it go. Travel. Get away from it. Close it out. Put it behind you. Heal these wounds, whatever form that took. And you're going to have these options and opportunities open themselves up to you. And that's you taking control. How beautiful is that? It actually is very clear to me. Okay, any more cards of advice for Scorpio? I just have one fall on the floor, so I'm going to go down and get that, if I can find it. Yeah. Perfect. Eight of Diamonds, I like that. This is the entrepreneurial card. This is you, if you have thought about going off on your own in some kind of solo effort, here's the encouragement there. It's also about things paying off that you've put a lot of time and energy into. So if it's not a business per se, something that you've put a lot of time and energy into is paying off. Maybe it was this job situation. Whatever position this was, it's saying it wasn't a waste of time. It may feel like it right now, but it's ultimately in the end, it's good for you, right? The things we have to go through eventually lead us to better places when they aren't so good for us anymore. The Two of Hearts, you're desiring some kind of, I don't know, this is like a partnership, companionship card. I kind of see it as you being in harmony with your desires to leave the situation is going to restore this. Like I said, this usually has to do with relationship, but I'm not reading it that way. I think it's more about following your heart. I really do. I think in this situation, what's going to help you make this decision is following your gut, your instincts, whatever you are thinking of, and maybe you aren't confident that you can pull it off. I think that Two of Hearts is saying restore the balance and the harmony there by following your heart. Any more cards of advice for Scorpio? Yeah. Jack of Spades. Yeah. What was I just saying? The confidence. I think you're lacking a little bit of confidence in what you are thinking of pursuing. The Jack of Spades is distrustful energy. It can again be air energy, but I don't have to go over that again. I don't think it's a person. I think this is what you're embodying. Um, Distrust, being a little bit cautious, suspicious. Um, and again, with the Jack, you're looking at, someone without experience or foresight. And I think you kind of hold yourself back with this Scorpio by having this, I want to say, lack of confidence. I just keep hearing that. Because if you look at this in progression, you have the Eight of Diamonds, which I said is entrepreneurial. It's all about going off on your own and doing something as a solo effort, but being very successful at it. And the Two of Hearts, being at one with your heart. And it's a very balanced and harmonious place. So you have to follow that, I think, to achieve whatever this is. I mean, maybe you really have thought about some business idea. It's certainly not off the table. It can be an option for you if that suits you more than trying to find the next best thing as far as a career or an employer goes. But you don't trust that you can make the right decision, or that you can make the right choice that's going to lead to this happiness. You know what I mean? Because ultimately I don't know about you, but I don't like changing jobs. I've done it a lot myself. I don't know. I think it's a natural instinct to want to get in one place and be there for a while. Maybe not the rest of our lives, but you know what I'm saying. Be settled. Yeah, and you have your heart open here. This is very good. Again, I think this is water energy. This is definitely you. With the Jack of Hearts, you're feeling vulnerable. It actually makes a lot of sense, since I just went over your distrust and lack of confidence in the situation playing out to your best interest, right? Or your ability, or whatever it is. I can't read that far into it, but you know internally what's going on. But you do have your heart open to something new coming your way. And there's a sense of vulnerability with that, and that's totally understandable, and that's natural. But it's good that you're open to new ideas. I think that's kind of where it's pointing. I'm not going to pull any more cards. I think I'm going to end it there, Scorpio. But again, your advice here is to take control of these emotions. I think they revealed themselves over here with the lack of confidence, but also having your heart open and really needing to achieve this balance and satisfaction within yourself, that what you're doing is a worthwhile endeavor and what you're pursuing. I do think the travel, if you're not planning on leisurely travel or vacation, it's traveling away from this situation, because I think you're still in it. I do have a very strong feeling, suspicion. But yeah, you need to nurture whatever letdown this was. You can self-nurture that. There's faith there that you can take care of that situation. And I was actually thinking about the Six of Hearts when I paused there. This is not only meeting the next best situation for yourself, but it may be opening up the possibilities for relationships in general. Maybe you've been locked up in this kind of downer, crappy, stagnant work situation or career, and it's kind of, blocked you from pursuing relationships because all of your energy's been going into this, and it's gradually dragged you down. So we can look at it a couple of ways, but it's still a very positive direction you're headed. I hope this reading helped. If you'd like to see when the next reading comes out and see if we pick up where we left off, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. You can also save this video so you can find my channel again. Just check in with me. That's another way to do it, right? Happy New Year again. I hope it's starting off wonderfully, and I will see you again soon. Take care.